Have you ever felt like you were at the top of your game, kicking ass, taking names, unstoppable, to a place now where you barely even recognize yourself? Well, honestly, that was me. And to a certain extent, it still is. I struggle with it every day. But I'm here to tell you that you're not alone. Hi, my name is Anthony. I'm a Canadian paramedic, and I am going to bring mental health to the forefront of our careers, not just for paramedicine, but for first responders in general. I am here to not only share my own experiences through my mental health journey throughout this career, but to use it as an outlet to talk about these things and to make it the norm. And I hope you can follow me on that journey. So, not unlike a lot of you, I started my career a little bit later in life. I was a project manager and carpenter for about the first 10 years of my career. And at that point, I just had this desire to do more. I just wanted to challenge myself, and I really just wanted to make a difference in the world. So the best way I thought to do that was to just go back to school, which was a very straightforward path. You apply to school, you study hard, you get the grades, you land the job. It's easy. It's a clear, concise direction. So this is what I did. I went to EMC school. I graduated. I got good grades. I then got a job up north. So I was working in northern Alberta for my first job. During that time, it was going really well. So I thought I'm going to go right into paramedic school. I'm older. I don't get a lot of time to play around. So that's what I did. We call this zero to hero. This is when you go from no career in paramedicine right up to full paramedic with no breaks in between. Usually, most paramedics will recommend you do EMT school, work for a little bit, and then do paramedicine. Now, because I was a little bit older, had some life experience, and I was working at the time, I thought that I would be okay. And honestly, I was okay. It went well. It was fine. I got the job, and at this point, I was even working in the city, and everything was going great. I was ticking off all the boxes. I was doing everything that I thought I was going to be. I even took it a little bit further, and I was working in some austere clinic environments up in Nunavut, as well as, I did standby for some forest fires, and I got some training in wilderness medicine. I was really being the hero that I always wanted to be. Now, fast forward several years, and things start to unravel between shift work and poor working environments and just PTSD catching up to me. I was unmotivated. I was lazy. I felt depressed and anxious all the time. I didn't even know what I was doing anymore with my life. I knew that if I kept pushing myself, that I was going to break and I was going to take everybody with me. So I had to make what is still to this day one of the hardest decisions I ever made. I went on stress leave. I took time off from the job that I loved and I worked so hard to get. During this time of stress leave, I was diagnosed with PTSD as well as depressive disorder as a result. This crushed me. This made me even feel worse. I felt like I had failed. I felt like I wasn't strong enough, and I felt like I'd left everybody down. It was the lowest point in my life, and the truth is, I still wrestle with it every day. But there's a valuable lesson that I learned during this time, and I'm really hoping that this lesson will help you too. And that is that we are not failures. As paramedics, we see more in 6 months than most people see in their entire lives. The grief, the trauma, it stacks up. This doesn't mean that we're weak or broken. This just means that we're human. The truth is, our value as people doesn't come from how many lives we save or how many shifts we put in or how tough we appear from the outside. Our value comes from the very fact that we showed up in the first place. It comes from choosing a profession that chooses to help people, putting strangers ahead of ourselves, running towards those emergencies that everybody runs away from. And that's not something that can be measured by a title or a patch on your shoulder or a line on the resume. I read a quote one time from an American psychologist, Albert Ellis, and I'll read you his quote, okay? It says, "Self-worth stems from an internal unconditional belief in your inherent value as a human being." And here's the good part. It says, "independent of your achievements in external circumstances. So if you take a minute to think about that, that it means if you step away from your job, or you take time off, or you decide you're just not that hero anymore, okay, you still have value, and you have an inherent value. And that's because the truth is, we got into this profession to help people, that desire to serve, that to be selfless, to put others before ourselves is honestly, that's what defines us. That's the part that nobody can take away. You are not less than because you're struggling. You're not less than because you're tired. You're certainly not less than because you're looking for help or reaching out for help. If anything, that makes you braver, that makes you stronger, and that just makes you human. Let me say this clearly. You are valuable, you are worthy, and you matter. If you're watching this video, that means you're taking the first steps to reclaiming your self-worth and reclaiming your well-being. And I'm so proud of you. And you should be proud of yourself too. You know, this being vulnerable, reaching out for help and admitting that you need help is the hardest thing and the bravest thing that you can do. And I'm so thankful that you made it to this point. Thank you so much for watching. It means so, so much to me. If you felt that these words meant something to you, or could mean something to somebody else that might be struggling with this, please like and share this video. Liking and sharing helps promote this idea of mental health for first responders, and can help spread hope to our brothers and sisters who may feel like they're struggling in silence. We need to tell them that they're not. And remember this, you are not broken, and you are not alone.